What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about what Europeans really think about Americans. Oh boy, I am both interested and excited to learn about this, but I can't deny a bit nervous. I feel like I know what's coming here, an endless barrage of super nice and positive, really friendly comments about Americans, right? Right? Okay, probably not. As an American, I am pretty familiar with like American stereotypes. I think tropes about America, especially American tourists, seem to get a pretty bad rap for probably good reason, because we tend to not know anything about the cultures we go and visit, and then just spread our delightful Americanism all around the world while we're on vacation, basically making the vacation all about us at times. I've heard that people around the world think Americans are loud and cocky and dumb, and for better or worse. Some of those things are exaggerations. Many of those things are true. I can say that as an American. And also, as someone who's grown up in America my entire life, I know there are things the rest of the world views about us that I don't know. I know that I do not know. And that is exactly what I'm here for. Feel like this is not only going to be entertaining, probably funny, and a bit critical, but good and helpful, and honestly a good exercise for, some self-reflection, some American reflection. So without any further ado, what do Europeans really think about Americans? Here we go.
Anyone want to try out an American accent for me?
Yeehaw! So, howdy, partner. We got
Oh, I didn't know we were going to start here. Yeehaw indeed. Yeehaw indeed. Uh, see, that's something I would have never thought about, that a lot of people around the world apparently think all Americans are from Texas. Is that the standard American accent people default to? I mean, gosh, like when Americans default to a British accent, for example, it's very sort of stereotypical and not very accurate, because Britain has like a million different accents, right? Depending on what specific street corner you live in, it can be like a different accent, right? So I guess this kind of feels like that, a bit of an overgeneralization. But I mean, there's some folks from Texas that kind of sound like that.
on down doing some shooting.
What do Europeans think about Americans? That we're all cowboys.
Hi, I'm Ben, and right now I'm traveling through Europe, and I figured I would.
Oh, the host is American. That's kind of funny. He's the one going around asking people questions about what they think about America, and he's American. That makes it kind of funny. They're in Belgium, by the way, they just said. I was wondering, when we're talking about Europe, where exactly we are.
Ask Europeans along the way, what do they think of Americans? Let's
Oh,
go
man.
find out. I want you to be as honest as you can, all right? So what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Americans?
Ah! I love the, I don't know, what is that expression they're making? Hesitation? Or maybe just staring down their kill before they go in for the finishing blow. They know they're about to deliver some bad news, basically.
Loud and
Loud.
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 Pretty loud sometimes.
Loud. Everyone says loud.
Everyone is saying loud. That's not, since we're getting into the whole loud thing, where does that come from exactly? I could see it coming from Americans visiting other countries and just are louder in general, like a more aggressive temperament, perhaps? I mean, I feel like living in America, when I go down to the grocery store, people aren't like shouting through the halls trying to find their Cheetos or something. I wouldn't say that people are necessarily loud, or is it just that the Americans shown on news and media or movies, like they're loud? Or where does this image of the loud, annoying American come from? I'm not saying that it's not true. As a matter of fact, I'm positive that it's true, but then again, you'll find, there's some truth to it, and then there's Americans who are just kind of normal, I think.
Friendly. Like nice. Good
Oh.
teeth.
They like to drink beer. They're nice people.
They like drinking as
Ah.
those Austrians.
Enthusiastic.
I'll take it. Why not? Drinking. I'll take the drinking if we're also coupling in nice. Is that purposefully together? Like you get a couple beers in us and Americans are the friendliest folk you'll ever bump into. Yeah, Americans like to drink. I don't know if any more or less than other countries. I mean, there's definitely, like, America and beer, like, in my mind, does go hand in hand. Like, most Americans love to drink beer. So, that's definitely true. And what else did they say?
One says loud.
Friendly.
Friendly. That's nice. Friendly. She said it very assertively, too. Friendly! I like that. I like to think that in addition to the American, like, aggressive loudness, there's, like, within that, a curiosity and a friendliness and openness I think Americans have, especially compared to a lot of other countries, I think. Some people I could easily see thinking that's annoying. But I think it's just that Americans are very curious, a little bit over opinionated, which I don't like how much Americans are so willing to give you their opinion. It's like, no one asked, buddy. Like,
Like nice. Good teeth.
which is ironic because that's what I'm doing at this very moment.
They like to drink beer. They're nice people.
They like drinking as those Austrians.
Enthusiastic.
Yeah, like drinking is associated with the UK, Germany, Austria. Like, yeah.
What's the first thing that
What'd she say?
Like drinking as those Austrians.
Enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic. That's a nice way to put it. Don't call us crazy, loud, annoying people. We're enthusiastic, don't you know?
What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Americans?
Oh,
Superficial.
superficial. This woman's Icelandic. That's interesting. I'm really happy about the really good diversity of countries and people from different countries that they're actually getting here. That's actually awesome. I was hoping it was a large sample size. Although, with that comes the double-edged sword that it might be that people from many different countries have negative things to say. In this case, superficial? Okay. I don't think... Gosh, what do I think? I mean, sure, there's some truth to this. Probably more. Yeah, probably more than a lot of other countries. Americans are pretty darn superficial. Has a lot to do with our media and social media for sure, but I feel like that can extend into all sorts of other countries as well, especially, watching beautiful people on Instagram and YouTube, for example. Or superficial? Yes, Americans love trends, fashion.
We like Americans. They are always quite cool.
Ah,
They like fast food. We don't like that so much, but when we are there, we enjoy it.
I love the attitude of some of these people. We enjoy fast food. We do. That is the most accurate thing so far, probably. Like the most irrefutable. Americans love fast food. I do. I mean, I can't argue against it. But in addition to some of these things, I'm very pleased to hear that several of these people, oh, where was she from? Austrian. Think that Americans are kind of cool, kind of nice. So I appreciate that.
I mean, the stereotypes is like
Yeah.
kind of fat and all that.
Fast food.
What did he say?
I mean, the stereotypes is like
Yeah.
kind of fat and all that.
Oh, fat. Yeah, I mean, especially with all the fast food, our portion sizes are, like, without a doubt, I've looked into this, our portion sizes are big compared to other countries. I've gotten used to it. Like, our portion sizes are so big that it's, like, very, very, very common that you need, like, a box or, like, a styrofoam container when you go out to a restaurant to take home the leftover food with you, because there's just so much. And I gotta say, as far as an American stereotype goes, I like that one. I'm living it up. I'm getting the full benefit of massive portion sizes. I'm okay with that.
Fast food.
They eat a lot of food. Like the
Oh.
portions are like really big. Burgers
Yeah.
and Coke.
Yeah.
Food very fast.
I think of
Yeah.
fast food restaurants. Five Guys. I love Five Guys.
Okay.
This is another thing. So she's Dutch. That's interesting. This is another thing where I feel like living in America, I wouldn't even think about this unless it was spoken aloud by non-Americans, because there's just fast food everywhere. Like you really can't drive your car half a mile or a mile before there's another fast food place. This is definitely true. And after a while, I gotta say, you just stop thinking about it. It's just so normal, so available.
Okay, so of all the things about America, the one thing you
Yeah.
can think of.
And I think of Trump too.
Donald Trump.
Trump.
Okay.
Just like Donald Trump, innit? Just
When was this made, actually? This was made 2018. Yes, indeed.
everyone hating on him or absolutely loving him. It's like one or the two.
That president, he's the craziest president I'll ever be seen, man. He's gonna start a war in this world.
I like
jeez. Yeah, I mean, sometimes Americans definitely, I mean, let me put it this way. We're concerned enough with our own problems and our own politics that, in a way, we don't really care about the rest of the world at times. We get a little bit of tunnel vision. And, but I find the rest of the planet's opinion on our politics and our leaders interesting and, like, probably very insightful.
the Trump. Yeah.
You do?
Yes. I like it.
Swiss.
What do you like about Trump?
He's mean about the world and about the situation now.
You like him because he's mean?
He's very
Like him because he's mean. I think this was an argument put forth by many people who were pro-Trump, is that love him or hate him, like, he's so unabashedly, like, real. Like, he doesn't care at all, like, what people think, and he says crazy stuff and doesn't really care if he hurts anyone's feelings. And to some people, they thought that was, like, nice to see, like, someone genuine, even though they were being genuinely mean in a way. So take it for what you will.
racist. He doesn't really know anything about politics.
When you see like Americans, they're really open-minded. They're like, most of them are really smart, and we can't understand that Trump is your president.
That's a big laugh,
Right. Oh man, they are baffled. It's okay. A lot of us here in America are pretty baffled by that whole situation as well. I didn't know how much the rest of the world even cared or thought about it, but it does not surprise me. It's important stuff.
People voted for him. You get what you very voted for.
Like, I know everyone basically in Europe is against Trump, but
Oh.
I think they needed a change. I just think that the two coasts dominated, and there's so many people in the middle, they don't get heard, and they're finally getting heard.
I do like in the
Wow, there's like some really, like, some of these people around the world like have really detailed insight into like their opinions on American politics. It's kind of nice to see.
America that everyone's kind of, if you're born there, you're American. And if you're from another country and you're moving to Austria and your children are born here, you're still like, yeah, I'm from Austria, but you know, my heritage is this and that.
Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, it is very nice. Like, America is not the most diverse country by far, but I do think, like, as far as accepting first and second generation immigrants who have at least done it legally, Americans are very, very accepting most of the time.
America is the land of chance, of opportunity.
Actually, I think of the American dream, like this way from the dishwasher to a millionaire. You can't make everything if you just wanted to make it and do it.
The American dream. Man, the American dream. You can make it. You can be rich. You can be someone. That used to be such a thing. Such a big thing. I'm sounding all depressing now. But it feels like America was known so much as like this land of opportunity. And I still think it is. Especially if you're trying to open like a business or something or start a personal venture. I think America is very accommodating for those types of things, starting businesses. But the ability for the common person to just hold down a normal job and still afford a house. Like, it used to be everyone in America expected at some point in their adult life to be able to afford a house. And that's just not the case anymore. Because it seems like minimum wage has stayed the same or not risen very much. Housing prices have gone up. Inflation and all the yada yada. And the American dream, if you define it as the ability to just have a decent job and then be able to support your family, support your kids, your pet, buy a home, and be content, that is just getting less and less and less true for more and more of the population, which is pretty sad.
I think like people look at America and they like idolize it. You know, like, oh, it's America. Yeah, like everyone wants to go to America.
Oh man, oh, careful how much you say that kind of stuff around me. My head might get a little too big. Oh, you think America's all that, huh? Okay, maybe I'll play that again.
America and they like idolize it. You know, like, oh, it's America. Yeah,
Oh-ho!
like everyone wants to go to America.
I mean, it's all joking aside, it's nice to hear, like, at least some people, like, there's valid criticisms going on, and then some people are like, well, yeah, given all that, I still think it's a pretty cool place. Like, that's all we ask.
Pretty keen about going to America, but I think the whole Trump has put me off. Like, I'm not as keen to go anymore. It wouldn't be the top of my list.
When I think of America, I think instantly about guns.
Like, I just don't.
Right, about guns. Oh man, that's a whole thing. That's another thing as an American that I don't really think about, funny enough. I think, gosh, from what I can tell, people outside of America are very, very concerned and maybe even scared of the whole gun ownership situation in America. Like, almost as if they think all Americans, or many Americans, are walking around town in Walmart, like, with loaded guns or something. Like, it's legal to own a gun, and it's much, much, much too easy to get a gun in America. And it's far too, you don't have to pass any special test or show your competency, and I think that's a big problem. But given all that, like, the ease of which it is to get firearms in America, I don't think it's as scary as a lot of people outside of America think it is. I've never, to my knowledge, encountered someone who was exercising their right to carry a firearm openly, besides a police officer or anything like that. But, you know, there's news stories with mass shootings and horrible, horrible things that make the news, and the fact that that's even possible in America is pretty scary. So, I don't know, it's kind of two sides of the coin there. I don't know.
I don't see why you need to have a gun.
In Poland, guns are really hard to get, so kind of illegal.
Here, it's not that easy to get a gun.
There's far too many guns in America. Of course, their laws need to be restricted. And
yeah. I mean, restricted for sure. Like, I find myself in total agreement with these criticisms of Americans. You should have to, like, it should be at least as difficult to get a car license to get a gun license. Like, you should have to take a test every year, show that you know what you're doing, show that you're responsible, mentally fit, all that, to own a gun. I don't see why it has to be so darn easy.
And it's really hard for us to understand because in Ireland there is no guns, the police aren't armed. It's just so systemic in your culture. I don't know how you could change it.
Oh yeah, there's no changing it, that's for sure. I don't think the American police could ever be unarmed, just because I think at this point there's so many people, unfortunately, that would take advantage of the fact that if they knew American police were not armed with guns, I truly do think crime would skyrocket. I am positive crime would skyrocket exponentially. That is definitely just a part of American culture and policing at this point, unfortunately, to keep order, especially in certain parts of America where some of the most crime happens, probably.
But you definitely need to try.
It's a big country, man.
Yeah.
Got big problems.
That's good. That's good. That's just simple and wise words. America, it's a big country. It's got big problems. That's for sure.
We do.
Yeah.
I love how they ended on that one. That's great. I enjoyed this. I mean, this was by BuzzFeed Video, and I liked it. I gotta give that a like. This was good. I thought all the criticisms were totally valid. Some, I will defend this till the end, some more true than others. But that's kind of how stereotypes go. Some of these weren't stereotypes, I'll admit that. Some of these were true, but some of these were a little overblown, and others were blown just right. So, I enjoyed this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Europe, usually about the UK, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.